Hello. Okay. I was just listening to one of my readings that I did, and hold on because I just need to make sure that it's not. Okay, so anyways, I was listening to one of my readings that I was just listening to, and I heard that there will be certain inheritances that don't exist anymore. So it just flashed into my mind. But yeah, there are certain people, there are certain families with enormous wealth that come from inheritances that come from way back when. This is generational wealth that I'm talking about. When we see this moving on of the ancestors, these ancestors who are ready to be released back into nothingness, back into the darkness, either way, their time as an ancestor is coming to an end. When we see those ancestors go, because it's not just from specific families, I think this is a global thing. I don't know if every family is going to be touched and like how many ancestors are going to be taken, but I feel like all of us are losing profound amounts of history, this is positive. There are going to be certain families who have been wealthy for generations that are going to lose their wealth. There are going to be certain families that have owned land and all of these corporations and countries, nations, continents, forests, all of these things that they have owned for centuries and centuries and centuries are going to be gone because those ancestors who created that inheritance are on their way out. So we are going to see the loss of massive inheritances that have ran their time through the generations and are now coming to an end. Generational wealth it's not timeless, there is a timestamp and then you have to go again and create another form of wealth. And the ancestors that have triggered these massive amounts of wealth that have lasted their family for generations, as they move on, those descendants, the people who are here now, they might face massive loss in inheritance. And this is complicated because I don't know who this is, so we want to be careful not to like celebrate people's loss. I mean, you never really want to celebrate people's loss, but I understand why some people would be like, good, because there's a lot of messed up energy tied to wealth right now. It's complicated, but I think the most important thing is mind your business. That's just something that came to mind, and I had to share it because it came to mind, but it doesn't necessarily really have anything to do with us. It could be you, it could be somebody else, it could be a family home. It could be and it could be taken in whatever way. It doesn't mean it's going to be taken by the people. It could be taken by the land. There's many different ways that things are going to be reclaimed, but all of us are going to face a level of loss because we have gifts and traumas and histories that our ancestors have given us, and those ancestors that are on their way out take everything with them because it's them. It's their spirit, so they need to take their spirit and move on so that they can move on into this new experience complete, and close out the cycle of all of who they are so nothing is left. So there's going to be profound loss, but this loss is also glorious because it is exactly what needs to happen. There needs to be this release. We are all going to lose things. It is going to be what it is. I don't know. I can't say it's going to be amazing. It's definitely not going to be easy. It might not be easy. It could be easy. It's going to be a loss though. So we all need to prepare for that. Bigger for others, smaller for others. But I mean, it's going to feel like a loss all the same. There's going to be grieving, but there's also going to be rebirth. There's going to be open space, empty space, time for you to do your work, to sow your seeds, to create your legacies for the descendants that will come. So that was just something that I have to add on from the video that I posted called 12 Years Until the 400-Year Liminal Space Ends, which speaks about that and other things, but I just haven't gotten the time to finish it because it's a long video. And sometimes I get tired of hearing my own voice. But anyways, I actually really wanted to do a reading, so that's why I'm here. I'm not sure if what I just spoke about is connected to that, but I wanted to do a reading. But yeah, if you know the loss is coming, you can prepare, right? And you can start to get okay with the idea of losing things, And remember that it's not about the thing. It's about what it taught you. It's about the energy of your ancestor getting to move on and the gratitude you have for that because, Nobody wants to stay in the same position forever. And to be an ancestor is to be a long existence, a very hard existence, a very generous existence. And we want our ancestors to be able to move on and to have new experiences and to not always just be as they were in their lifetime, existing in that energy in just a more spiritual sense, a more awakened sense, I guess. We want them to not be anymore if they don't want to be. And many of them are ready to move on. And this is very exciting. So yeah. I thought I just saw like a little creature. Oh, these squirrels are just so cute. Okay, anyways, so Spirit, what are we talking about for today? I want to do a reading. Okay, Ace of Wands. I wanted to do a reading. I was doing a reading yesterday, but I got cut off because I heard my roommate, and then I couldn't focus, and then she ended up texting me, so I had to stop the reading. But we have Ace of Wands, Seven of Wands. Okay. It's just been very beautiful. I mean, these past few weeks have been very spiritual. I wonder if you guys feel the same. I have felt like there have been a lot of messages that have been received, and I feel like everybody is receiving. This doesn't feel like it's a very discriminating energy. This feels very balanced, very equal, very whole in giving, and I think that's because it's kind of judgment and justice energy in the sense where karma is just being delivered out. That's what I was talking about maybe like a week ago. This energy of karma being doled out, and everybody's receiving something. Everybody's losing and everybody's receiving. Ace of Wands, Seven of Wands, the Star, the Six of Cups, the World. Wow, beautiful energy. I'm excited that I'm using this deck because this deck is very lively. It's very beautiful, very charming, and I think it really captures the essence of magic. We have the Two of Cups here. It came with a big pile, but I'm not going to take the big pile just yet. I'm sure those cards will come out if they need to on their own, but we'll just take the Two of Cups for now. There's a bear in my front yard, a black bear, which is funny because it's just funny. Knight of Wands. Okay, I don't need to pull too many cards. I need to look at what this reading is even about. So we have Death popping out, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. And the Empress. Okay, anyways, so Ace of Wands, Seven of Wands, the Star, Six of Cups, the World, Two of Cups, Knight of Wands. Lots of wands. Lots of wands and a bit of water. What is the World? If the Sun is Leo, then Virgo is Judgment, then I guess Libra is the World. So we have air, water, and fire here. No earth, but we do have earth in the deck. Okay, so I feel like there might be a bit of strain on I feel like there might be a bit of strain on you, on us all, holding on tight to this new beginning. Holding on tight to this new beginning, like, please God, don't let me go. Don't let me let go. It feels like there is this pressure to hold on with this Ace of Wands, and get closer to the light. It's almost like you've received this thing that uplifts you, that gives you a higher vision, that gives you, that connects you to source, that gives you a calling, that gives you meaning, that gives you purpose. There's something that's activated within you that's connected to this Ace of Wands, and it lifts you up off of the ground and helps you reach higher heights, lets you see things you haven't seen before. And I feel like ever since this thing has been given to you, you haven't rested. You've been seeing, you've been looking, you've been reading, you've been engaging with this energy and climbing higher. And it feels like you have reached the top of what this thing that has come into your life can give you. That's interesting. It feels like you've reached the top of it and you are seeing exactly what you need to see, and you're looking around. Eventually, though, you're going to need to come down, right? Because This is just the first thing. This is the ace. This is the ace of wands. It's just the beginning. And there's this energy of holding on so tight to the beginning that you're not allowing yourself to move into the land. You know, it's like you're at the gate and you walk through the doorway and it's like you're just standing at the door just looking around in amazement. And it's because there's a bit of awe, but soon you're going to need to start exploring what's around you. There's kind of this fighter energy, which came up in a daily reading a couple days ago, which was this energy of like looking at your future like you have to fight for it, not realizing that it's just here and you're living in it and you really just need to feel it so that you can begin to integrate and realize that you're not in battle mode anymore. And that's kind of what this feels like. There's like this energy of like you need to engage with your present moment, not as the future, but as your present moment. You're not fighting for something anymore. It's here. Now you need to integrate with it. Feel it. You don't need to hold on so tight to something this is your reality. So you don't need to hold on so tight to it. Sorry. Yeah, like that's what I feel so far. Because it feels like there's all of this magical energy around you. There's a magical song I've been singing all day. It's not Do You Believe in Magic? Talking about magic. No, not that one. Do you believe in magic? Song about magic. No. Some kind of magic, the things I've seen, and I don't understand it, why it happens to me. No, it's not Do You Believe in Magic? It's not that. Anyways, there's this energy of like there's all this magic around you, but it's undefined. It's just magical energy. And so it's meaningful in the sense that you're seeing magic, you know, you're witnessing magic. And that is like alluring and it's incredible enough. It's fascinating enough. But just the act of witnessing magic isn't really enough to get you to believe and understand that you are in a magical realm that is now your reality. You know what I mean? Because you're just seeing it passively. You're seeing it from the observer standpoint. You need to engage. You need to be the actor. You need to be the actor. It's like the fact that SAG strike just came to an end, I think is very timely. I think it's very timely. Yeah, you've got all this magical energy, but it's like, how do you get it defined? How do you get it defined so that you know what you're engaging with? I'm talking about magic. It's not that song, though. Spirit, what was that song I was singing? We have the Eight of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Knight of Swords. Tigers also have been like a whole energy. Knight of Swords has come out quite a bit. It's just kind of in the background, though. It's interesting. There's like the Knight of Swords, which is like this kind of like crazy whirlwind, fast-moving, kind of like unstable, but not in a bad way, just unpredictable, warrior kind of energy that's like circling in the background. And I never really have time to focus on it. I just like not acknowledge it and I see it, but there's other things that I see that I consider more important. And that's interesting because maybe that's the idea. Oh. I feel like almost Spirit is kind of like, hurry up. I feel like Spirit is kind of like, hurry up. Like, I feel like Spirit is like, okay, I know. Like, yeah, you're in the magical realm. Woohoo, yay. But now, like, let's get going. Get into this. Like, get into life now. It's time to get into the world now. You know, it's like if a baby never felt the urge, like if babies were feeling the urge to crawl, but they just wouldn't do it because they were just so fascinated with the fact that they were like on Earth, that they just weren't crawling. And it's like the push. It's like Spirit's like, no, okay, now get moving. Like, I know you're so excited to be here. I know you're so happy. I know this is so interesting to you. I know you're scared. I know you're nervous. I know all these things. But let's get moving now. Come on. You know, like you've received what you were looking for. Now you're being approached by all these new energies. Things are so different. Things are so weird and strange. Let's really get going because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You've spent enough time like worrying and overthinking and all these things. You are in the new reality and there is work to be done. So you've like done the rest that you needed to do. You've done the grieving that you need to do. You can grieve on the way as you walk, but either way it's time to like get moving. But like, okay, yeah, like it's kind of time to like do the work. Okay, but like what is this work? And this does not feel like, oh, it's time for you to do shadow work. It's time for you to go to a dark night of the soul. This is not that kind of energy. This is like, it's time to get in your purpose. It's time to do your calling. It's time to have fun. It's time to finally come to life and do what you came here to do. That's the energy. It's like Spirit's like, come on, like, let's go do what we've always wanted to do. Let's go do what you come here to do. Yeah, the Emperor. Take control. You decide what is law and order. You decide what the norm is. You decide what this reality is for you. And you make good decisions. So trust yourself and start to make some decisions. Start to make some choices. You can always go back if you don't like it. You can do something else if you don't like what this decision led you to do. You have freedom here. This is just the beginning. Explore. Explore. What is this Page of Wands talking about? And now do you believe in magic? And now do you believe in magic? Oh, magic. Oh, you believe in magic. I don't believe in magic. How do you believe in magic? And how do you believe in magic? I feel like there's a lot of like options for friendships coming in as well. That's one thing that I want to say. I also think that there's going to be people, okay, this is when you're going to have to start to discern because you are in a new reality, right? So there's going to be people who are coming into your life and because you just got out of a reality where everything felt so monumental, because it was like you were right at the end. So it was like, holy shit, okay, this person's in my life. They're here to deliver me something. They're here to tell me something. They're important, blah, 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 blah. Now it's kind of like you're just in the world again. So now everything isn't so monumental. You're not at the end of anything. You're at the beginning of something. So everything isn't such a big deal. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of room to build, a lot of room to explore. Every person that comes into your life right now doesn't need to be the end all be all, okay? Some people are literally just other people in this reality. You're just sharing this reality space, right? You're just in the world again. This is like being in a small town where you knew everybody and everything and blah, 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 and everything had significance, to being in a big city and just realizing, oh yeah, like people are just people, right? It's kind of moving into that energy. So one, discernment around not getting so attached to the meaning of things and to the people and to the things that they say and all these things. Also recognizing when some people are literally just messengers in your life. And that does not mean that they're not valuable, but like they're not meant to be here and become best friends with you. They're just around, okay? And like they're engaging, they see you, you see them, maybe you chat, blah, 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 and you move on. Right? Remember all the things that you've learned around discernment when it comes to relationships and boundaries, not taking on everything, not having to be everybody's best friend, learning how to discern and trust yourself and realize that, and we're like the people pleaser energies, no time for that, no space for that, right? So we're not just allowing everybody in and then feeling like we owe everybody the world. No, we are all engaging with each other, and you are going to be that for somebody else. Just coming in to be a messenger of something, just coming in to offer something, and that's it. Okay? But there's this energy of like, spirit is untying you from the hanged man. You're not going to be in this position much longer. There's almost this energy of like you got through the doorway and then you tied yourself up to a tree and you're like, I'm just going to sit here and take it all in. And that's exactly what you did. And that's exactly what you've been doing. But now spirit is like, okay, get down. Get down from the tree. get moving, walk around. We want you to be inquisitive. We want you to be curious. We want you to explore. Explore, explore, explore. We want you to look around. What's going on? What's happening here? What's this over here? Ask questions, okay? Figure out what this reality is. Figure out what you're doing here. Because I'm not sure you really know where you are, and that's fine because you're like not supposed to, but you're supposed to figure it out. You're not supposed to remain in the dark forever. So now it's time to figure out exactly where you are. Be inquisitive. Ask spirit questions. Ask your spirit guides questions. Ask people questions. Explore. Talk to yourself about how you feel. Connect with the environment that you are within. Explore. Talk to your family. And obviously take time to rest, but also be intentional with your rest. When you're sleeping, what are your dreams doing? What's happening in your dreams now? Like, what's going on? Has there been a shift? Has something been weird? Do you feel like you're dreaming and you don't understand your dreams? Maybe that's because you don't understand your reality, because you don't really know where you are and you need to explore this reality. You are in a new space, and you can probably tell that. But, like, it's not enough to just tell that you're in a different space. It's not enough to just know that there's magic around. You got to do something with that. Do something with the energy. Engage it. Be curious. Be the student. Learn about where you are. You're somewhere new. Learn about it. Yeah, lots of page energy. You're the page. Lots of page energy. And you've come from just being an emperor or the kings or the queens. You've come from these high positions, but now you're in this new land and you're a page. So let yourself be a page. Yeah. And there's going to be information coming into you that's going to like throw you off your feet because you come from this energy of being so scared and defensive and worried and just always having to watch your back. But nothing's a big deal right now. You are so protected. You are so protected. Like, spirit is not going to allow anything to happen that is like going to throw you off your feet. You're like a baby, and you're right now, like, that's why there's such prominent goddess energy in the air right now, because you need your mother. And right now, like, the goddess energy, divine feminine energy, and spirit, like, surrounding. So you are walking and you're exploring, but like everybody's circling you. You're so protected. There's really no need to be afraid. So when things do shock you or scare you, that's okay. Because all you need to do is remember that you're not alone. You're not alone. What is this Four of Wands talking about? Because you know what? I see things like that and I'm just like, spirit, back it up. And that's what I was talking about this morning. I was talking about how, like, there comes a time where you have to have less faith, because you kind of need to give room for the spirit to prove you wrong, or to prove it to you, for the universe to prove it to you. Sometimes the universe wants to prove something to you. So that means you can't believe in it so much. You need to kind of lose a little bit of faith intentionally withdraw your faith back a little bit. That way, spirit and the universe can prove to you that actually, yes, this is going to happen. And actually, oh, look, this can happen. And look what we can do. Look what we can do. Because they need to build up that relationship of trust with you, and the fact that things can be created for you. Things can be manifested to you that are your dreams. This is like, we're trying to manifest your dreams, and I'm not sure that's happened yet. You're in magical energy, but not your dreams. And we're trying to make your dreams come true. So, like, we need space to be able to do that. That's why we had to go through all of this, because you have big dreams. So it was going to take a long time. You know, a lot of waiting, a lot of patience, a lot of curiosity, a lot of challenges, a lot of clearing out, to make room for big, big dreams that take up your whole life, take up your whole world. If you want to meet your soulmate, you are going to need, that requires a lot of energy and a lot of space in your life. You can't be in a position where you can't leave your job, or you can't leave your home, or you can't go without this, or you have this set of criteria and you can't change that. Like, you have to be very flexible if you want to meet the person that you're meant to share your life with, because you are going to begin sharing Six of Pentacles, balance. That means that you're going to give and you are going to take. You're going to need to have room to do that. Space to offer, right? Can't ask somebody to move in and every room is filled and all the sides of the beds are filled and there's nowhere for them to sleep, nowhere to put their stuff. You know, and you can't just clear out a drawer. You've got to move house. You got to lose all your things and move into a new house with a new person and build from the ground up. Like, you know, it requires space. It requires flexibility. It requires an open mind, an open heart, an open and loving soul in order to be able to take in that kind of energy, in order to be able to manifest those kinds of dreams. That's not easy. That's not simple. That requires a lot of work, a lot of flexibility, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of divine interference, a lot of blessings, a lot of miracles. And that is where spirit is like, let me prove it to you. Let the spirit world prove it to you. Let them show you that this is real, that this is possible. So there's also that feel, that's where that Ace of Wands, where you're holding on so tight. It's like, let go a little bit. Let go a little bit. Because first of all, let me show you that even when your faith isn't the utmost, even if you're not holding on to spirit arms and legs so tightly, even when you don't feel that close to spirit, even when you don't feel that close to God, you don't feel that close to your parents. You know, when you're like a teenager, you start to kind of feel removed from your parents, isolated, misunderstood, all these things. That doesn't change the way your parents feel about you when you have loving parents. It doesn't change the way they feel about you. Me, when I was a teenager, I wasn't really close to God. I didn't even say spirit, but I only said God, and I wasn't close. You know, I had gone through a lot. But that didn't change the love that God has for me. That didn't change the love that spirit has for me. I didn't even know spirit's name. I didn't even speak about spirit, because spirit and God to me are different energies. I didn't even speak about spirit, and spirit was there the whole time. Those plans never changed, and that's exactly what that footsteps prayer talks about. On the parts where you realize that your footprints and spirit's footprints, there's not 4 sets of footprints, there's only 2. And they ask, where were you? Why did you leave me? And spirit's like, those are the times when I carried you. Like, that is literally what this energy is talking about. Faith, you don't need to prove how much you believe in God, how much you believe in spirit, how much you trust the goddess. You don't need to do any of that. You are loved beyond that. You are loved regardless of what you believe. You are loved regardless. You don't need to prove any of that. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to be prove that you are deserving of love. You are deserving of love. You are deserving of your dreams. Does that mean it's going to come easy? No. Being alive is not easy. Being alive is not easy. It never has been, never will be. But that doesn't mean that you don't deserve love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, spiritual fulfillment, gratitude, appreciation, all of these things. You deserve these things. Will it take work? Yes, it will take work. Will it take patience? Yes, it will take patience. Will you have to be persistent? Yes, you will have to be persistent. That is the work that you put in as a human being. All you've got to do is be human and be in tune with how you feel and choose to not suffer. Choose to not suffer. That's all you've got to do. That's all you've got to do. Just choose not to suffer. Even if you have no faith at all, you don't trust, you're just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But if you're choosing not to suffer, there is faith there. Because you recognize that you don't deserve to suffer. You recognize that you don't deserve to suffer. And even if you're in an experience, in an environment where there is suffering, and you are suffering, it's not a choice you're making. You're living with your environment, you're dealing with your environment, but you're pushing through because you're not choosing to live this way. There's no consent there. As long as you are not consenting to suffering, which you are not doing even if you are in a position of suffering, just you're not consenting to it. You're not saying, yes, I want to suffer. You're not saying, yes, I deserve this. As long as you're not doing that, that's all you need. All that spirit needs is to know that you don't want to suffer. You don't deserve to suffer. You don't feel that you deserve to suffer. And there room can be made. Then the universe can come in and try and shift and move things around. And depending on the situation, it's complicated. I can't speak to certain levels of suffering and how spirit moves in those situations. I'm not sure. I don't know, and I don't feel that I am equipped to be able to speak to that kind of experience and do it justice to understand the level of support that is needed and what can actually come through, because there's a bigger thing happening beyond what I can understand and beyond what I've been given the ability to communicate. But I know what I can say, and it's what I've been saying, and it's what I will try to continue to get across so long as that's the message that needs to be displayed, because it's important. There's a lot of tigress energy. I almost want to wonder if that's so funny. I wonder, okay, hold on. Oh. Everything hangs in the balance. Yeah. Everything hangs in the balance. And sometimes when you just allow yourself to speak and you just let spirit speak, what comes out needs to come out. And sometimes it's just a prayer. Sometimes it's just gospel. Sometimes it's just preaching. Sometimes it's not a specific message on a specific path and we're following this and we're following that. Sometimes you just need to hear what you need to hear. Sometimes you just need to know that you're being seen, that you are a witness to spirit, that you are being witnessed, that you are being watched, that there is a covenant over you, that you are being prayed for, that you have been prayed for, that you are not the first to do this, that there are people who have come before you who have made the same journey and have come out alive and happier and fulfilled and excelling in their path, excelling in their aliveness in ways that oftentimes might feel foreign to you, might feel impossible to you. But there's this push from spirit to recognize that it can be done for you too. It can happen to you too. This is possible for you too. Yes, there is this energy of truly being in the position to be able to create and move towards the reality that you desire. And that's because you're already on the road. If you weren't already on the road, then this would be a different type of reading. But you're already on the highway towards where you're trying to go. The destination is already input into the GPS. You're already going in that direction. You're already in that space. You're already in that place. You don't need to take a plane. You don't need to take a train over the water, a bus, blah, 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 blah. You need to do all these things. You can drive there. That's how close you are. You can drive there. If you were really crazy, you could walk. But that's why the Knight of Swords is coming out, because Spirit's like, no, you don't need to walk. You need to drive there. Chariot energy, Knight of Swords energy. There is a vehicle, a vessel supporting you to get to where you need to go. You are being supported. You are being supported. And it might be your spiritual team that is your vessel, that is your vehicle. You might literally be provided with a vehicle that is going to allow you to get where you need to go. But you are getting to where you need to go. You are getting there today. You are getting there soon. You are getting there. It's up to you, honestly, how quickly you want to get there. But you're getting there. And I think you're going to take some time to allow yourself to finish certain things that you want to finish so that you don't bring anything over that you don't want to bring over. But ultimately, you're getting there. It's in your space. It's literally in your space. You might not be able to see it because it's a car length distance. So it's a car drive, right? But it's in your space. It's reachable. It's accessible to you. You are not blocked out from this. You are not blocked out from this. This is in your reality. You are in the reality of your dream life. You are in the reality. That's crazy. That's not easy. That is not easy. That is not easy. I'm telling you, because I have not been in the reality of my dream life for most of my life. For all of my life until now. These past 3 years have been me working. I don't even know if it's been 3 years. I always say 3 years because that's what it feels like. But I've been working. I've had to do all these crazy things, go all of these crazy places and shift and change my mindset and deal with all these disappointments to get to where we are now. And all it really required was me not choosing to suffer anymore. And that was not an easy choice, let me tell you, by far. Because human beings are so adaptable. And we are actually very, very, very compassionate and very empathetic So when we understand a reality, we begin to resonate with that reality and take on that reality so that reality knows that it's not alone. That's really why people end up staying in places of suffering, because they want the suffering to know that they're not alone and they understand them. And so then people begin to live lives of suffering, really actually because they were just trying to be compassionate and loving and let the suffering know that they're not alone. And it's out of one of the most beautiful gifts, which is empathy, can come one of the most difficult struggles of humanity, which is to not accept suffering. To not accept suffering anymore. And a lot of us do accept it because we don't want to leave people alone. We don't want to, and it's usually about people. We don't want to leave each other alone because we are tribal people. We are community people. We care about each other. Don't listen to anyone that says that people don't care about each other. People care about each other. People really empathize with each other. And that's why we all stick around. But you are realizing, and we are realizing, the older we get, the wiser we become, the more we begin to tap back into our roots, the more we begin to reconnect with all of ourselves and remember who we are. Remember that suffering does not move us forward. Suffering is not a part of the path. Struggle is a part of the path. Suffering, no. This is not hell. You're not living in hell. You're not meant to live in hell, okay? You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be able to enjoy your life. You're supposed to be able to rest. That is the reality. You are not doomed to suffering. This is not what you are supposed to live. That's why we're having these big conversations about prisons now, because who has the right, you know? And I know it's complicated. It's so complicated, but we're talking about rehabilitation and reform and all of these words: revolution, recovery, repatriation, retribution, reparations, all these re's, because you always get another chance. It's never over. There's always a second chance. And that's why people who do take other people's lives, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Because that is not up to you. You do not have the right to dictate when someone gets to stay and when someone gets to go. That is not your choice. That is not your choice. The only energy of death, where you get to wield the sword of death that is in your hands, is in cases of self-defense and in cases of women who are choosing to have abortions. In my opinion, I know this conversation is not going all over the place, but this is my opinion. This isn't necessarily from spirit. But girl, let's not get into that. Girl, let's not get into that because there's no need. There's just simply no need. But yeah. Anyways, anything else, Fair? I was just yelling at the screen. I'm really excited. I made this pasta that I was gonna make rasta pasta, but it ended up being more like a curry pasta. It's so good though. Because I'm learning all these new hacks and tricks for making your food even more delicious and vibrant and tasty. So I really like it, but I need to find a way to eat some more vegetables this week because I'm eating a lot of pasta, which is good. I like pasta, but it's unbalanced. I need some type of vegetable. And I don't just want steamed vegetables. I feel like I would like to have roast carrots or cauliflower, but there's this amazing cauliflower we made for my dad's birthday, and I think I'd like to eat something like that alongside my pasta just to balance things out. And maybe even steamed chard. Not really kale. Kale is just so hard to eat. But steamed chard, I could eat because I can just eat that and then eat my vegetables, and then I'll get to have my pasta as a treat. Anyways, so we have the Strength card and the Ten of Swords. Not that I've been telling you what cards we've had for the past. It doesn't really matter. Energy is energy, okay? You don't need to know what cards there are. You just need to hear what I'm telling you. Anyways, I was having this conversation with my sister the other day about how I feel I don't think that the gift of reading is going to be taken away from people, but I do think that people are going to need to begin reading for themselves, which I think is probably going to be a complicated but really positive journey overall. I don't know how it's going to change the occupation of readers online, like me, because I'm a reader. We might just move on to bigger paths, because I almost feel a lot of spiritual readers might be kind of stuck in this plateau of like, all I am is a reader. I read cards, and it's like, this is what I do. And it's because there's a stereotype around magic and esoteric work and intuition, that keeps a lot of us who are actually a lot more talented and have more to offer than just readings. Not that there's anything wrong with a reading, but it's the bare minimum of what we can actually do. We are much more gifted than we understand. And doing readings is just a really easy way to begin to explore that gift, but it can kind of cut you off if that's where you stop. And I don't think many of us are actually meant to be doing readings anymore. Like, I think that a lot of us are living out past lifetimes in this current reality. A lot of us who are readers online, and in person, because we're just trying to access that part of ourselves. But I think that soon enough we are going, like, you see a lot of readers say, who are pretty popular on YouTube, are like, I don't do personal readings. I think that's actually really positive, because we're getting into this space where it's like, okay, I don't need to read for people. Like, that's something that you kind of do out of survival. And then, like, I like to read for family and friends and people who need it out of the goodness of my heart, but I don't necessarily want to do this as a career. But I want to work in the esoteric, and I'm not exactly sure how to get there. So I do readings because it helps me engage that energy. But I think that the deeper we get into this lifetime, the more we're going to move away from giving readings online and personal readings and things like that, and like trying to guide the collective, to creating things. I think a lot of us are going to actually, because I've heard a lot of readers say that their dream is to create some type of healing sanctuary. I also have that kind of dream. Like, I think we're meant to build things. I don't think we're meant to be reading so much. I think we can have messages that we deliver and all of that, but ultimately I think a lot of us are meant to be teachers and guides, but through our creations. We don't always have to give so much, because reading costs a lot of energy, and it's very, very sacrificial, very generous. It takes a lot of time to be engaged in other people's energy and to find a way to communicate that in a way that really services them, and look beyond the veil and get the nuances of a message that's being delivered. So, it's a real gift to be able to read for someone. And I think that the way that readings happen online, first, I'm not sure people really treasure them. Like, even me, listening to other people's readings, I'm not sure I really treasure the readings the way that I should, especially knowing what it costs. And I think that we're just going to move into a place where you're not going to have such easy access to readers, And maybe you will, but the readers that you have easy access to are probably people who are supposed to be readers in this lifetime, which means it's a little bit of a different energy than the powerful practitioners and high priestesses and high priests and witches and warlocks and all these people, magicians, wizards, that are reading out of a desire to get to something else. I think a lot of our great teachers are no longer going to be doing readings. And I think that there's going to be a real push to work on your own intuition and connect and get your own answers and not be able to always look to people. And readers are going to move on to do something else and offer something else. And when we leave the internet, I think that that's going to be a major loss. And I think that's when there's going to be a little bit of a spiritual reckoning online, because there's not going to be all these readers to go towards. There's so many readers, and it's made to seem niche, but I bet a lot more people listen to tarot readings than you'd expect, especially over these past few years. But that's just my little tidbit on that. I'm not absolutely positive. Don't consider that a message from spirit. That's just me talking. But that's how I feel. Again, that's just how I feel. Well, maybe that's how spirit feels too. Ooh. Okay. But let's talk about, and you are all so capable of receiving incredible clarity and information. You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need me to tell you. You don't need the most inspirational, powerful reader you've ever come across to tell you. Okay? Those are messages that come directly from your spirit team, which means that they're messages you can receive all on your own. And you're more than deserving, and you're more than capable, and you're more than gifted. This is natural to you. Reading, intuition, all of that is natural to every single one of us. Now, because of where we are in our journeys as souls, and because of what's existing in our chart and how we can engage with energies, and because of family history, because of all of these really unique things that come together to create you as an individual, the way your intuition manifests, the way the things that are natural to you as a spirit and as a human being manifest in ability is going to be different. And how you are able to express that is going to be different. But we all at our core are gifted naturally. That is just, the gift is just your experience, your existence. You are naturally able to do all these things. You don't need anyone to help you receive from your spirit team. Okay, we need people. We definitely need each other, but you don't need people in that sense. Okay, you don't need somebody to tell you your personal life story. It's nice to be validated. It's nice to be heard. That's where reading becomes so beautiful, when you can create a community out of it. But we are not, some gods and goddesses that are divining and directing you through life. You don't. We're not needed in that way. You can do this on your own. What we can be here for are as support systems, as community, as teachers, as a friend, as someone who sees you, as a mirror. Sometimes you need a mirror. But beyond that, you've got the gift within you as well. So just don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. I didn't get taught tarot, but I did by other readers. Like, I was watching tarot readings and Bahati Life, Nicholas Ashbaugh, Ali's Tarot, Queen Cup, Universal Intuition, Cognitive Universe, Rosology, The Quietest Revolution, Born Without Boundaries, The Nordic Light, the Silver Leaf, Kino Tarot, Eso Tarot, Lexi the Leo, Goddess of the Unknown, She is the Sun, who is all these beautiful Nicholas Ashbaugh, did I say Nicholas Ashbaugh? All of these, Minnow Tarot, Minnow Pond Tarot, all these beautiful readers mean so much to me and have been teachers to me and inspirations to me. Professor Melanie, the Spirit Doula, so many incredible, fascinating, wonderful practitioners, guiders, supporters, community who have taught me. But I didn't have to take a course. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. This is something you can tap into on your own. You don't need to spend money. This is a natural gift you have. So if that's something that you're worried about when it comes to access to readers, don't worry. No fear. Okay? There's no need to have any fear. It's like you've got all of the information. It's just kind of jumbled. And you need to start putting the pieces in order. You need to start creating a plan. That's probably why the Two of Wands won't leave us alone. You probably need to start creating a plan. Yeah, because it's like you've got all this energy, but it's all jumbled. Like you've got this series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's all mixed up all together, and it looks more like 2, 1, 4, 3, 5, and so you've got to figure out how to put that in order, which number goes where, which step goes where, but you've got all the pieces. Now you have to put it together. You've got your reality. Now put your reality together. How do you want to shape your reality? It doesn't need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be 2, 4, 3, 6, 5, 9, 4, 8. It could be like that. And that could be your version of comprehensive and balanced. Either way, though, you need to start putting it together, put the pieces together. Start to make sense of this. Start to create a pathway. Start to take the steps down the hall to get through the next gate to get into the world. It's like you've been dropped off at the train station. You can't stay at the train station forever in this new reality. It's like you go to London and you're going to take the train from London to somewhere else, or maybe something more accessible. You go to France and you're going to take the train from France to another country, to Italy or something. But you don't want to leave the train station. And it's like, well, you've got to get out the train station. Okay, you're here in the new land. Yay. Now leave the train station, go outside, see what you came here for. It's time for you to get started. There's just a little bit of, hesitation and fear and just nerves and awe. You're just kind of in wonder of it all. But you're just like, whoa, okay, well, I'm here. I guess I'm here. But Spirit wants you to get moving, okay? Spirit's like, okay, you're going to be so amazed. This is not even the most amazing thing. This train station is a wonderful thing, but it's not the most amazing thing. There's so many more amazing things for you to see as you begin to put your reality together, as you begin to integrate, as you begin to take the step forward, as you begin to move. So let's get going. And not because we're in a rush, but because Spirit's excited. There's no rush. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're not running out of time, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. Spirit wants you to move because Spirit's excited. And they want to be able to be alongside you as you experience these new beginnings and go on these journeys and adventures and begin to realize just how magical your life is and just how worthy you have always been of this kind of magic. These are the gifts that they always wanted to give you. The gifts that have always been, that they have always desired to give you since you were a child. But it just took some time to get here. It just took some time to get here. And now that you're here, Spirit is like, let's go. Spirit's anxious. Spirit's anticipating. Spirit's like, I want to go. I want to go out into the world. I want to go to the fountains, to the museums, to the galleries, to the coffee shops, to the restaurants, to the bars, to the clubs. We want to go do everything. We want to live. We want to be alive. We want to experience this reality with you. This is so exciting. They want you to get out there. So get out there. Go and do some stuff. Go and move. Go and make some plans. Get going. Do what you want to do. This is a fantastic time to be alive. Fantastic day to be alive. Fantastic energy. It's just like, it's just awesome. We have the World, the Six of Wands, and the Tower, Get out the house at the very least. That's the energy. And I understand because that Hermit energy is strong. It's strong. And I be staying inside. I'm a Cancer. I will stay inside. I don't care. And I'll be happy inside. But Spirit's like, go outside, let's go. And even if it's not about you going outside, literally, it might be about you moving. You have the means to move at this perfect timing. You can buy a ticket for cheap and go to where you need to go. And then when you get there, you might end up finding a job and a place to stay, or you maybe have a friend over there and they said you can sleep on their couch. And so maybe you should trust them and sleep on their couch. And then you never know, they might introduce you to somebody to get you a job at a coffee shop. And now you've got a job at a coffee shop. You're sleeping on your friend's couch, but soon enough, that money from the coffee shop will help you get some money together for a room, and then you've got a room somewhere, and then you make new friends in this room place because you've got some roommates, and now you're meeting people, and now you're connecting, and then they take you to this dive bar, and it's karaoke night, and you get up there and you sing, and then you realize, oh my God, I really love singing, I really love performing, and then you start doing all these things, and it's just like, well, all you needed was to move. And I know it sounds scary, but after all you've been through, really, what is a move? What is a move? What is a move? And you don't even know if that's how it's going to go. That's just me, imagining. These are things that are out of your wildest imagination. And I feel crazy because I'm like, oh my gosh, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. But no, let's not be realistic, because your idea of reality is attached to a reality that is dead and gone. A reality that doesn't even exist anymore. So no, you can't be realistic because you don't even know what reality is. You don't know where you are, sweetie. You need to build your sense of reality in order to be realistic. You can't be realistic if you don't know what your reality is. So let's just dream. And then as we dream, let's do. Because as you do, you create your reality. Okay? It's your actions. It's your actions. I know they say our thoughts, but at some point you gotta move. At some point you have to move. Okay. We're just yelling. Lots and lots of nines. We just saw 999. This is the end. This is the end. This is the end. This is the end. 11. This is the end. This is the end. This is the end. 11, 11, 11, 11. This is the end. Oh, this is the end. Oh, this is the end. 11, 11, 11, and 7. This is the end. Oh, this is the end. Oh, this is the end. 11, 11, 11, and 7, and now this is the end. This is the end. This is the end. Oh, 11, 11, and heaven and 7, and no, this is the end. Oh, this is the end. Oh, this is the end. Oh, 11, 11, and 11 and 7. Okay. Girl, there's a whole lot of fives. There's a whole lot of fives coming out. It's just because things are changing. Changing, shifting, energy, changing, shifting, energy, changing, shifting, energy, changing, changing, shifting, energy, changing, shifting, energy, changing, shifting, energy. 11, 11 is 7 and 7. Okay, girls. Bye. We gotta go. Yeah, look at all these nines. Lots and lots of nines. You're at the end, bro. And when I tell you you're at the end, I mean you're at the end of this waiting around for your new beginning to start. And you're about to realize, the new beginning been started. I'm telling you. This is the end. Oh, this is the end. Oh, this is the end. 11, 11 in heaven and 7. Okay, bye.